It's your boy Evie. You're watching Evie Family ENT. And if you like what you see, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. So you could become part of Evie's family. Alright. So thank you, French. Let's do it. The cause of death, Spanian. Let's get it. Let's go.
I love war. I love holocausts. I love blitzkriegs. I love defensive lines. I love sieges, charges.
Is that damn? Why does that sound like Hitler, yo? Who the hell is that supposed to be?
War. I love holocausts. I love
clearly.
blitzkriegs. I love defensive lines. I love sieges, charges. I love mop-up operations and retreats.
Now what the hell is this, French?
Ready for war, I orchestrate horrific violence to a place where screens sink into a sickening silence and storms strike the skies from the lords of vengeance. The face of my forefathers in my sword's reflection, singing out words of anguish in an ancient language. I walk the battlefields anxious with rage and hatred into the...
I walk the battlefields anxious reflection something, yo. Yeah, we gotta go back. I'm skipping the whole Mr. Dr. Evil over there speaking. I don't really care to hear him speak again. So let's get into it.
Ready for war, I orchestrate horrific violence to a place where screens sink into a sickening silence and
he said what through screens that sink into infinite or something silence. So he's talking about he orchestrates war or whatnot on the platform. So obviously, because in his music, like, you know, M does that, always like refers to that. A lot of artists, a lot of rappers refer to that. But I think he's talking because he said through the screens. He literally said that word for word. So he's talking about strictly on a platform. Which, okay, that makes sense. And through his music.
I orchestrate horrific violence to a place where screens sink into a sickening silence and storms strike the skies from the lords of vengeance. The face of my forefathers in my sword's reflection, singing out words of anguish in an ancient language. I walk the battlefields anxious with rage and hatred into the arms of angels facing nations of slaves. Their eyes black, their faces infested with plagues. I tested the brave masters in the craft of death, severing arms and I'm bludgeoning half their heads. Men dying at my feet, ripped apart the chest, crying at their wise names as they gasp for breath. It's savage and amongst anarchy I carried a message from an infant to a king and to a manic depressive. From an
infant to a king to a manic depressive. Isn't that how it usually goes? With that, like, that kind of reminds me of Ren's the Money Game 3. Because Ren literally orchestrated that perfectly through that song. But wait, that bar right there reminds me of that. Because it's like you get so powerful and you get to the point where you want to become a king, or you are a king or whatever, you know, now you're the elite, and then it's never enough for you. But the whole time, because you didn't focus on like family, you didn't focus on things that actually are important to you. You were power hungry and you wanted to control. Now you don't have anything except that power, and that's very, very lonely, and most people go into a manic depression, and that's why it reminds me of Money Game 3, which I want to redo that reaction too, by the way.
In the craft of death, severing arms and I'm bludgeoning half their heads. Men dying at my feet, ripped apart the chest, crying out their wise names as they gasp for breath. It's savage and amongst anarchy I carried a message from an infant to a king and to a manic depressive. From a struggle within into a satanical presence, fanatical measures I slay greats and I'm battling legends. It's war, professors in an act of audition. It's mess, I'm calling a natural condition. Every culture celebrates it, whether it's fact or it's fiction. It's the cause of death if massacres captured in pictures.
They're chopping off heads. They're chopping off the heads of Christians. They're drowning people in...
Yeah, go ahead and talk, Trump. Yes, put him on there. You heard what he said. You heard what Trump's saying. Let's hear Trump out, yo.
Fact or it's fiction. It's the cause of death if massacres captured in pictures.
They're chopping off heads. They're chopping off the heads of Christians. They're drowning people in steel cages. We should go for waterboarding, and we should go tougher than waterboarding.
Ready for war.
Bad.
Your fears start appearing in visions through a place of wicked free market imperialism. Right-wing scripted television and military systems, all written to see the world built like a prison. So I fire randomly into the sky as spy drones and neutralize the CIA spy wearing iPhones. Switch time zones.
And neutralize the CIA spyware and iPhones. Clearly, because everything. You know, I was just having. Who was I talking to? Who the heck was I talking to? I'm trying to think if it was someone. I think it might have been Zach. It might have been Hip Hop Radar Underground or Zach Juggalo, who the interview will be tomorrow. But I was talking to him. And I was showing him some things on what to do on the computer. You know, I was like teaching him some like little IT things or whatnot, kind of like I was doing with Meta. And no, it was Meta. It was Meta I was talking to. Shout out to you, MetaStep, but it was Meta I was talking to. And Meta was like he did not want to like click the OK for them to be able to connect to his Discord or whatever app it was or whatnot. And my thing is, I'm like, yeah, I get that. I don't want them tracking me either, especially. But nowadays, if you have a computer, if you have a laptop, if you're using anything Microsoft-wise, no matter what, they're tracking you already. Just from your Windows account alone, they're tracking half the stuff you got. If you got a phone, they're tracking you. Every single thing is tracking you. So at this point, like, I still turn off. I don't want them being able to listen and all that, but as far as just the basic privacy concern that you have to do, at this point, I'm not even worried about it anymore because they've been doing this for so long and so many years. They know every single thing about me and they know every single thing about you. So at this point, I don't even give a damn no more.
Waterboarding, and we should go tougher than waterboarding.
It was about, yeah, that wasn't though, no.
Visions through a place of wicked free market imperialism. Right-wing scripted television and military systems, all written to see the world built like a prison. So I fire randomly into the sky as spy drones and neutralize the CIA spy wearing iPhones. Switch time zones with fake aliases to evade traces, scale rooftops and lay patient for days and remain faceless. I'm a ghost in a machine of multinational corporations, assassinations and national leaders on world stages, facing top secret genetically engineered military. Outer space lasers and pre-and-eyes advanced imagery. I monopolize media power that can stage an event and pass doctrines of world conquest in the name of defense. Look around you, the war's begun and it's a major effect. You want peace or fuck talking, man, you're wasting your breath. It's war.
You want peace? F talking, you're wasting your breath. That's a fact because, I mean, hey, I don't want to get all political, but I end up usually doing it anyways. And I mean, it's my reaction, so I'm going to give my opinion. And my opinion is all this damn war, and you see what's going on right now, all of it is to profit and make money. This is all to keep all the elites that run everything. This is how they get richer. This is how they keep their wealth, by wars. But by them doing that, it's people like me that are in the military. Well, at this point, it's really like drones and stuff. But you get the drift that got us that got to go out and risk our life for them to get richer. But that's what all these wars are about. It's all resolves around money. That's it.
Military, outer space lasers and pre-and-eyes advanced imagery.
Hey,
I monopolize media power that can stage an event and pass doctrines of world conquest in the name of defense. Look around you, the war's begun and it's in major effect. You want peace or fuck talking, man, you're wasting your breath. It's war, profess this ain't an act or audition. It's gore, it's mess, I'm calling it a natural condition. Every culture celebrates it, whether it's fact or it's fiction. It's the cause of death if massacres captured in pictures.
That's a fact too.
Well, look, they knew what was happening. The wife knew exactly what was happening, and they watched their husband on television flying into the World Trade Center.
Ready for war. I walk deprived their sanity.
I swear, Trump has been talking for years, y'all. There's a video of Trump in 1980 something that I've known about for quite a while now. Even before 2016, before Trump even was ever even into politics, I learned about this when I was working at Joe Randazzo's years ago. There was an interview of Trump and what he was talking about, what he would do if he was ever president in the state of the world. Back then, I think that was in 1980 when he was talking, but I watched it in like 2013 or 14 or something like that. And, you know, there's a lot of things he said back in 1980 that is just spot on today, because it's a lot of things that don't change, and you can see this, and it stays the same way, but people get so worried about the stupid distractions going on in the world that they don't focus on the primary things at hand, and they don't focus on how things are set up. People just look at all the other BS and care about all the shit that should not matter. There's a lot of things that should not matter, but people get so tuned into that, and you should be focusing on where the problems are arising from, where the problems start, where the root of everything is, and also simple pattern recognition and realizing how things have been and been, and what is really changing and what is not really changing.
Some call it a natural condition. Every culture celebrates it, whether it's fact or it's fiction. It's the cause of death if massacres captured in pictures.
Even targeting terrorist families. Well, look, they knew what was happening. The wife knew exactly what was happening, and they watched their husband on television flying into the World Trade Center.
Now, I can't say he knew what he was talking about there, but I'm just saying.
A place of alien kings and computerized humanity. As brainstem integrated cables provide the vision, I exist in half digits inside of binary systems, hidden under gases on the dark side of Saturn. I fall into alternate states of lights and patterns, battle machines and
I go into alternate states, a bunch of lights and patterns. I go into alternate states, but when you're alternating something, it's a bunch of different patterns going on. It's like alternating pattern. Damn, I don't know.
Sanity through a place of alien kings and computerized humanity. As brainstem integrated cables provide the vision, I exist in half digits inside a binary system, hidden under gases on the dark side of Saturn. I fall into alternate states of lights and patterns, battle machines and gain magic as I rise in status, knocking titans out the sky, cyborgs collapsing. Life at my fingertips, flicking safety switches, instantly change positions when the matrix glitches. Walk through walls and morph into all sorts of beasts. In the form of their queen, I hadn't fought it in these. Slayed their king and reached the halls where the oracle sleeps. Watching a dream convulsing and bearing horrible teeth. Its head.
Watch a dream convulsing and but what?
Flicking safety switches, instantly change positions when the matrix glitches. Walk through walls.
Instantly change positions when the matrix glitches. So clearly, when something messes up, here's a good example. You know how in 2016, everyone was saying Trump is all racist, Trump is all this, Trump is all this. He was the worst person in the entire world. And now in 2024, he's like the most loved person at this point. And there's a lot of people that said he's racist, he's this in 2016 that are all now saying, no, he's good, he's actually good, he's actually good. Yet when the matrix glitches, when things start to show their true colors, and when the alternate reality starts glitching, people start switching up. I mean, it's a good thing. I personally feel like it's a good thing the way people are switching up and being able to wake up. But I feel like that was a perfect analogy to explain that bar, because that's happening right now, here and today. I've always rocked with Trump, though.
Rising status, knocking titans out the sky, cyborgs collapsing. Life at my fingertips, flicking safety switches, instantly change positions when the matrix glitches. Through walls and morph into all sorts of beasts. In the form of their queen, I hadn't fought it in these. Slayed their king and reached the halls where the oracle sleeps. Watching a dream convulsing and bearing horrible teeth. Its head turned, eyes open, and it started to speak. The mark at the feet, stars darken from the heart of the beast. It's war, profess, this ain't an actor audition. It's gore, it's mess, I'm calling it a natural condition. Every culture celebrates it, whether it's fact or it's fiction. It's the cause of death if massacres captured in pictures.
And then, hold on. Yo, he went all in with this one. And I'm not talking about the rap. I'm just talking about, like, I'm looking at this dang thumbnail right here. He's got it all red and black like that. It looks like a dang bloody, gory scene, right? Not gory, but it just looks evil, right? He got it's war. He's got all that going on with it to make it just amplify it. He started with Dr. Evil in the beginning. I don't even want to speak about him. And then basically he was calling out a lot of the BS and a lot of the conspiracies that a lot of them are actually coming around to actually be true. I don't know about everything he said, but I know that there's certain things that he said that have actually became true, and it's not a conspiracy anymore. But 10 years ago, people would have looked at you crazy. But I always say the people that look the craziest, the people that sound the craziest, usually are the ones that actually know what the hell is going on. I'm a firm believer in that. And, and that's why a lot of them are looked at as crazy as shit, because people just aren't able to comprehend or understand or want to actually see past a lot of it. And that's why a lot of these people get labeled crazy. But there is people out there that is just wooing crazy. And then at the end of the day, no one really knows everything. But there is certain things that have came out that he said that's been facts. And it would have been looked at as a conspiracy. He also reminds me of Immortal Technique, just like a more bar-heavy Immortal Technique. I feel like, I don't know how long Spanian has been out, though. But Spanian, you said it sounds very New York horrorcore influence? Okay. That's actually pretty good. I don't know how long he's been out, but okay, so clearly Immortal Technique, I think it's been out longer than him, because I've heard of Immortal Technique for like all my life. I knew who Immortal Technique was since I was real little. And he just reminds me of a more bar heavy Immortal Technique, but get into the key things that need to be broadcasted. But the whole song was just basically exposing the elites, exposing the BS that's going on in the world, and exposing what a lot of people are saying. He just was able to put it into a rap like that and then on top of with all the antics and whatnot. That was why I say this is fire.